Hi friends, welcome back. Let's take a look at Tezos together. I'm Rocky Outcrop and I really appreciate all of you so much, massively do. Every time I do these videos, I want to say thank you so much to you. At some point down the line in the future, I might have to stop saying it just so you know I'm not so ultra repetitive. Just bear in mind that I genuinely mean it. So if I ever stop saying it, you know, it's for your benefit as opposed to because I've changed my mind. I massively appreciate it. Thank you so much. You've helped grow the channel to where we are now. Let's keep doing that. Share the videos with friends if you've got one that you think would like it. Apologies to everybody. I'm going to speak quickly in this one. I want to get through it as quickly as possible and get everything out there because I don't want to reduce the quality of the video in terms of the content. I just want to get it done quickly so I can go out into the sunshine. I'm slightly sunburnt on one side and not on the other. And I thought I'd go out into the sunshine and get some vitamin D and, you know, all the rest of it. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. What have we managed to achieve so far? Let's just zoom in here and look and see. Look, on this upward trend so far, this upward trend coming in from 14th of May to where we are now. The prices have come up here and we're just, about to go higher than our previous high. I want to see, we've had the wick come up and touch off of this 50% retrace line, 50% retrace line there. We've done that a couple of times and prices do often retrace from that area. Generally speaking, in terms of this zone here, I want to see us staying above two things. One is is this 382 here. Having touched the 50%, coming back down to the 382 at 2,950 would create a valid Fibonacci just, based off of that alone, as you would know. Of course, we have a Fibonacci drawn in here going wick to wick, and this is the second thing, 3,000. That's kind of our pivot point recently. I want to see the prices remain above there. 3,000 is very good. 3,070 is tasty. You know what though? 3,110 would be a heck of a lot nicer. Let's hope for a close up here so that we can start to move on up the way as, instead of just kind of consolidating kind of here. Somebody said to me as well, shout out to Ross, who said, inverse head and shoulders on the 24-hour time frame. So let's have a look at this. I don't know if you meant dollars or Bitcoin. Not seeing one, to be honest with you, just here, but that could be, Gestalt things. I could be blind. Feel free to send me a picture, just draw on it, whatever. Just do this. Look, just get out the drawing thing, like that, it's cool. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. So yeah, don't see one just here. Second thing is an upward trend. I tend not to look for reversal patterns which go against the prior trend. No, I do. I tend to look for them. An inverse head and shoulders would be a reversal pattern for a downward trend though. So you wouldn't expect to see it. Although, we'll take a look at the dollar prices in a second and see if we see that there. We're above the 21 EMA and the 50 on the daily. If we go up to the weekly, we're still above the 21. The upward trend is quite clear to see here. This is all very good. However, there is this bearish divergence that we have on the go throughout this entire upward trend. So really, there is a question mark here as we go forward in terms of the bigger picture. If we go to the 2-day time frame, then and kind of zoom in a bit, how do we look at this? Just this here. So there's no hidden bullish divergence, and just a wee reminder. Get rid of all the drawings though. I bring this up. Look at this. Yeah, so we're not divergent on that one. That's good to see. RSI, it looks like we are. Yeah, the RSI got that on the 2-day time frame as well. But anyway, we're kind of, this last period has been consolidating. Got the 24-hour time frame. Yeah, same scenario there, really. Just double check. Yeah, same scenario there. So anyway, just looking towards the horizontals, essentially, we want to see the prices remain above that. 2,900 and 3,000 is our first two in terms of being quite tight on yourself, managing your risk. Generally speaking, though, like we said, again, apologies for speaking so quickly. We want to see the prices remain above 2,000, 2,700, this zone. Just let me just draw on here. You want to see them stay above there, okay? In general, so that you can continue, so we can have put in a bullishly divergent across two of our three momentum oscillators, low here, and then moved on up for an upward trend there afterwards, having then come in. And if you put in a higher low at some point, let it be above 2,715. Jumping over to the dollar prices, let's take away all the drawings and have a look. Could this be the shoulder, the head and the shoulder that Ross was talking about? Again, by the way, Ross, directly just looking at the camera here, really appreciate that you sharing my videos. And then to everybody else there, everybody who shares my videos with friends that they have one, if you've got one that you think would like it, massively appreciate it. Genuinely appreciate every single last one of you subscribers. Get in touch, let me know your name, I'll give you a shout out. Hey Amith, for instance, great guy. Plenty of people out there who are really great people who watch these videos. Thank you so much. Anyway, right, shoulder, head, shoulder. Potentially, right? Is it potentially? With the volume's dropping off throughout it, potentially. But this isn't what I want. Like I said, upward trend, reversal pattern for what? To go up towards the upside, which is what the inverse head and shoulders would be. Let's just go like this, and like this. I don't like it because it doesn't fit the sort of the concept. You can do this anytime you like as well. Bukowski's book, just as a general idea. Overall, it's one of the best. No, one is the best. It's 17 out of 56, so it's up there. It's one of the better ones. 3 volley pattern shape, pattern downward. See, price trend. This is the key part of the characteristic. The first part is this downward leading to the pattern is the price trend beforehand. So, it's hard to say that overall in general. But anyway, back over to the price action, the shoulders, and anyway, just forget about the pattern in a sense and think about the psychology of it though overall in terms of, instead of looking down and up and everything else, let's look at this and say, where are the horizontals on. You know what? I'm tempted to just remove all draw. If I got one that's cleaner. Yeah, cool. So instead, let's draw in a couple of horizontal lines, and say there's this, there's horizontal. Lol. Horizontal lines. So, you've got this is obviously our first port of call. Can we get above it? If we do get above it, forget head and shoulders chat. If we do get above it, what are we doing? Well, we're putting in a new high here, but this would be a slightly bearishly divergent one. So we'd want to see the prices move on up in order to overcome that aspect. Just jumping over to Ethereum to give you some context. You wouldn't have said, again, the same sort of chat you could have, with this, you could have said shoulder, head, shoulder on this chart. Is kind of how you're thinking, right? And then here's your neckline. This is the same mentality. And then you've come up here. Now, what's this managed to do at the minute? Well, it's coming up and it's beat this area previously in terms, and the stochastics could potentially be doing that too. It could potentially in terms of going higher, right? So it might be able to throw off any shackles of any sort of bearish divergence there. But if we compare it to our previous high, which is here, then you can see that this is here and here. So, there's a warning sign for us still there that even though we've made it up, we may not make it any higher than this sort of upward, 245 might be the end of it. When, if you were looking at this as a head and shoulders area, you'd have done that and said we're going to 250 or 260, and that's when you can find yourself caught in the wrong side of a move. So just in general, looking back to Tezos again, where are you? Excuse my language, or don't, who cares? I'm not that bothered. I think we're all adults here. So that's what we're looking at. Can we do that? Can we move above it? When we do, will we be able to do it with enough momentum to get it past past here without any bearish divergence? Can we look then to the left and see that, we've got this as a sort of high here, as our previous, the previous one to all this sort of chat. Will we make it past this area? How will the prices look when they're coming in here? This would be the next most realistic target for you in a sense, the 320 area. Pardon me. Then, you've got this as well. So in terms of head and shoulders, again, upward movement here, shoulder, head, shoulder, kind of, sort of neckline, breakout territory, bring it down, boom, there you go. There's a head and shoulders for you. It's not quite the same here. I wouldn't want to say full measure move going to be here, but let's just, for the sake of it, let's just, humor you and say, where would this go? Well, it would go up to our second high up there anyway. And in a sense, then you can just ignore that concept and say, look, we've got these two horizontal lines. Let's look at how the price action goes beyond them. We see the drop off in the VPVR, specifically if it comes back in right at the previous high, as you would expect. So there's these areas here. This is the price action which we're looking to see happen. And we have this divergence potentially on the go across all three of these oscillators currently as it stands, unless something changes. Remember, things change. this looked like this was going to be divergent versus this previous high just yesterday, and now it's not. So things change. It's a warning as well. But that's it. So anyway, that's going to do us. I think that really helps people. This wasn't just for Ross. I hope this helps everybody, because people will be talking about this sort of stuff in general, and I hope that it kind of enlightens you a little bit in terms of trading. But of course, these are all my personal opinions. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not I'm just your friend and your spirit guide, and somebody who you can chat to about the prices. So absolutely everybody feel free to do so. Thanks so much. I'm sorry for not responding directly to you, by the way, Ross. I saw the message come in, but I was like, because I was tired, and I just put it down and then forgot basically until 10 minutes ago. Right. Anyway, cheers. Thanks very much. Catch you all later. Thanks for tuning in. Share the video with a friend if you've got one that you think would like it. Hit that subtitle button if you're like, what is he talking about? Slow it down to 7.75 speed, and share this video with a friend, and hit the subscribe button. Really, if you've watched this video all the way through till now, you're able to hear me, understand me, despite the way I'm talking, and then, hit that button. I'm going to go outside in a wee bit and sort of let the sun shine on that part of my body, so that I don't have, I don't know if you'll see it on the camera, but I'm definitely Mr. Yin and Yang. Catch you later. Oh, fuck off. Oh no, not fuck off. Cancel.